Step in the ring, no fear, all bite, hands up high. We train for this fight, bell gon' ring, it's war on sight. This is boxing life, this is fight night. Sweat on the floor, we grind, we climb. Every bruise on the body means we're on our time.
Red Corner Boxing. We're in the game.
Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Red Corner Boxing's X Prediction League time. I'm Mr. Neutral. This program is sponsored by EasyStorage.com and BoxingFightZone.com for all your storage and merchandise apparel partners here at Red Corner Boxing. We thank them with all our hearts. Now, moving on. X League. Fight Week 7 was last week. This is the table. Was 166, another great week for him. Leapfrog, Jab Boxing back to the top of the league, 876, but only 6 points behind his Jab Boxing, 155 points, great score from him. Spit Bucket, 137, stays in third place, 839. Sweet Pugilism, he had a bit of a stall of that last week, 834. Max Calangelo, well, he's suffering a bit, 815. Lee Mack, good score from him, closes the distance on Matt Calangelo. Graham Walker, great score, 159, puts him back up there. And C. Miller, late starter, 134, 318. But look, let's get into fight week 8. 15 good fights, title fights, lots of good fights. And hopefully we'll see some great scores yet again. Now, let's go to the first fight of 15 on this card, fight week 8, and it's Nina Minka versus Diana Vargas, Germany versus Dominican Republic for the IBF World Feather and the IBO World Featherweight titles. Over 12 rounds, and these are 3-minute rounds. 23-0 Minka, the southpaw, up against 22-1 Vargas from Dominican Republic. I can tell you now, it's gone. Minka UD, Jab Boxing, Spit Bucket, Sweet Pugilism, Max Calangelo, all go unanimous decision Minka. Lee Mack, unanimous decision Vargas. Graham Walker, unanimous decision for Minka, as does C. Miller, to round off fight 1. On the same card, on the undercard, we have a heavyweight affair over 8 rounds. All Germany, Felix Lamberg versus Dejois El Sheikh, 6'5", 6'1", 17-2-0 Langberg, 23-2-1 Sheikh. Only lost twice, but 2 of the last 3. Was knockout round 7 Langberg. Jab Boxing, knockout round 6 Sheikh. These two are going to be split. Spit Bucket, knockout round 6 for Langberg. Sweet Pugilism, knockout round 7 Langberg. Max Calangelo, unanimous decision for Langberg. Knockout round 7, says Lee Mack for Langberg. Knockout round 5, says Graham Walker for Langberg. And C. Miller rounds it off with unanimous decision for Felix Langberg. Moving back to Ireland, this WBC International Featherweight title fight, 10 rounds. Michael Conlan returns against Kevin Walsh, unbeaten. 23-0 Conlan, 19-0-0. Kevin Walsh from America. I can tell you went UD for Conlan in his final fight. Could well be. Jab Boxing says Conlan is going to win by knockout round 10, maybe to end his career. Spit Bucket says UD Conlan, as does Sweet Pugilism. Knockout round 8 says Max Calangelo for Conlan. Lee Mack says knockout round 5. Graham Walker says knockout round 7, both for Michael Conlan. But C. Miller says Walsh, split decision, Robin Conlan of that title. Moving on. Kieran Malloy, Xavier Colin. Welterweight over 10 rounds. Malloy from Ireland, Colin from the Netherlands. Southpaw versus Orthodox, one of many on this 15-fight week card. Says knockout round 5 for Malloy. Jab Boxing, Spit Bucket, and Sweet Pugilism see unanimous decision for Malloy. Max Calangelo says knockout round 5 for Malloy. Lee Mack says knockout round 8. Graham Walker says knockout round 4, all for Malloy. And C. Miller, unanimous decision, Kieran Malloy. It's unanimous across the board there. Right, Niall Brown versus Darren Johnston. Super middleweight affair over 10 rounds. 17-0 Brown, 12-1-0 Johnston. Good fight. Says UD. Jabbit says UD, both for Brown. Spit Bucket says knockout, round 8, Brown. Sweet Pugilism and Max Calandrillo both say unanimous decision, Brown. Lee Mack says knockout round 4 for Brown. And Graham Walker and C. Miller both see unanimous decision for Brown. Moving on. This is the Italian super lightweight title fight, 10 rounds. Eduardo Diodazio versus Giacomo Michele. Both from Italy, 13-0-0, 11-0-0. Somebody's always got to go, as they say in boxing. Unanimous decision says Michele, as does Jabbit. Split decision, Diodazio, says Spit Bucket Podcast. Sweet Pugilism, back to Michele, unanimous decision. Another American, Max Calandrillo, says Diodazio's going to win it, UD. Lee Mack says split decision, Michele. Graham Walker, unanimous decision for Diodazio, and as does C. Miller. They're split down the middle on that one. Moving on. WBC International Silver Featherweight vacant title. All Italian affair. Featherweight over 10 rounds. Vincenzo Lafemina, 15-2-0. He's up against Simon Raoul, 12-1-0. Says majority decision for Raoul. Jabbit, Spit Bucket, Sweet Pugilism, and Max Calandrillo all say unanimous decision, Femina. Knockout round 7, Femina, says Lee Mack. Graham Walker says knockout round 5 for Femina. He's lost 2. Split decision for Raul, says C. Miller. Moving on. Japanese Boxing Commission featherweight title fight. It's only a 6-rounder. 4-0-1 Osawa, Anira Osawa versus Mayo Nishi, who's unbeaten 4-0-0. I can tell you that said unanimous decision Osawa. Knockout round 4 for Nishi, says Jabbit. Spit Bucket. Well, he says split decision, Nishi. Sweet Pugilism, UD Osawa, as does Max Calandrillo, as does Lee Mack. Graham Walker says knockout round 4, Nishi. And C. Miller says unanimous decision, Osawa. So that's another one split down the middle. These guys. Changes are abound in the tables. Let's get to this side of the pond. British, Commonwealth, IBF Intercontinental middleweight titles. One of them is vacant. That's the IBF one. 13-0 George Liddard. 21-3-3 Tyler Denny. 12 rounds. Orthodox Southpaw. I can tell you and Jabbit and Spit Bucket also unanimous decision for George Liddard. Sweet Pugilism says Denny unanimous decision. Max Calandrillo says knockout round 9 for Liddard. Lee Mack knockout round 5 Liddard. Graham Walker, unanimous decision, Liddard. And knockout round 10 for C. Miller, Liddard. Tyler Denny's got one fan this week. Moving on. And we got Jimmy Sains versus Derek Osazi for the English middleweight title. 11-0-0, Jimmy Sains. 13-3-0, Derek Osazi. I can tell you now, it's all one-way traffic. All would have gone for Jimmy Sains. Was says knockout round 7. Jabbit says unanimous decision. Knockout round 7 for Spit Bucket. Unanimous decision says Sweet Pugilism. Knockout round 7 says Max Calandrillo. Knockout round 4 says Lee Mack. And 2 knockout round 7s again for both Graham Walker and C. Miller. All for Jimmy Sains. Moving on. George Vizioli versus Levi Giles for the English lightweight title. 10-0-0 Vizioli, 17-2-1 Levi Giles. Unanimous decision says Was. Knockout round 4 says Jabbit. Unanimous decision says Spit Bucket. Unanimous decision says Sweet Pugilism, as does Max Calandrillo. Knockout round 6 for Lee Mack. Unanimous decision for Graham Walker and C. Miller, and it's all for Giorgio Vizioli. Levi Giles didn't get one supporter. Next fight, we have Lester Martinez versus Emmanuel Alim for the WBC Interim World Super Middleweight title. 19-0-1, Martinez against Alim, who's 22-3-3. Again, it's all one way. Martinez, UD, says our leader. Was. Knockout round 9, says Jabbit Boxing. Knockout round 9, says Spit Bucket. Knockout round 8, says Sweet Pugilism. Knockout round 6, says Max Calandrillo. Knockout round 7, says Lee Mack. Knockout round 5, says Graham Walker. Unanimous decision, says C. Miller. All for Lester Martinez. Moving on. Joshua Kevin Anton versus Kudratilo Abdukakarov. Try saying that after a mouthful. Super welterweight affair over 10 rounds. Southpaw Orthodox again. 6'3". Joshua Anton. 5'9.5". Massive difference. 12-0-0. Joshua Anton. 22-5-0. Abdukakarov. Right. It's all one way traffic once again. Anton to win. Knockout round 8 says Was. Unanimous decision says Jabbit Boxing. Knockout round 8 says Spit Bucket. Unanimous decision says Sweet Pugilism. Unanimous decision says Max Calandrillo. Knockout round 4 for Lee Mack. Knockout round 6 for Graham Walker. And knockout round 9 for C. Miller. All for Joshua Anton. Moving on. And it's the last fight on Fight Week 15. Carlos, no, it's not. I've got Carlos Adames yet versus Austin Williams for WBC World Middleweight title. Great fight. 24-1-1 Adames, 21-0 Williams. Now, could this split them? Unanimous decision for Adames says Was. Split decision, Jabbit Boxing for Williams. UD, Adames. Says Spit Bucket. Knockout round 11, Adames. Says Sweet Pugilism. Unanimous decision for Max Calandrillo. Adames. Unanimous decision for Williams. Says Lee Mack. Graham Walker says Adames. Knockout round 9. And C. Miller says unanimous decision for Adames. Couple have gone for Williams there. Right, moving on. And we have Jacob Gomez versus Corey Marksman. 14-0-1 Gomez, the Puerto Rican. 12-0-1 Corey Marksman. Good fight. Split decision. Gomez says Was. Unanimous decision Gomez says Jabbit Boxing. Split decision Marksman says Spit Bucket. Unanimous decision for Sweet Pugilism for Corey Marksman. Unanimous decision for Gomez says Max Calandrillo. Knockout round 7, says Lee Mack, Marksman. Knockout round 7, Graham Walker, Marksman. And split decision for Marksman, says C. Miller. And that is it for the X League, Fight Week 8. The boys have made their predictions. Do you agree with them? Put your own predictions in the comments. If you want to join Season 4, now's the time to start your registration because we will be taking names down. Whether it's on X, contact myself on Neutral's Corner, or my man, Jam's Boxing Chat, and Red Corner Boxing. or in the comments below. Put in your predictions. See how you do against the boys this week. And maybe join us next season. Right, well, that's the predictions. We thank them. Fight week 8 is underway. First fight is on Friday night. We'll see you next week, 9:30, usual time, and see how the boys got on in fight week 8. Thanks for tuning in. This show is sponsored by EasyStories.com and BoxingFightZone.com. Our proud partners here.
BoxingFightZone.com for all your boxing apparel.
Look, please give us a like and subscribe. Really helps the channel grow. And if you don't take my word for it, take, let's see, Roy Jones Jr. That's if we can find it.
What's going on, UK boxing fans? This is commentator Christian Schmidt alongside
the great Roy Jones Jr. and you're watching Jam Red Corner Boxing.
Subscribe to us on RJJ Boxing YouTube channel.
There you go, the great man himself, plus Christian Schmidt. Or should I say Roy Jones Jr., the other way around. Both legends. Thanks very much to them. And thanks very much to you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week, fight week 9. Take care. Until then, goodbye.
Step in the ring, no fear, all bite, hands up high.